Okay, today I will be grading NFL trades that happened this offseason. So I'll only be covering a few of the trades this offseason. If you want a part two, like and subscribe. But you have your first trade being Justin Fields going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, all the Steelers had to give up was a 2025 conditional sixth round pick that could be a fourth round pick in the future. Pittsburgh Steelers, I really like this trade for the Steelers. They're getting a young upside quarterback that um, could potentially take over for Russ if Russ ever does bad or not, especially with Fields' fifth-year option coming up. This could be a very good trade for the Pittsburgh Steelers. While the Bears, I really don't like this trade for the Bears. They're only getting a sixth-round pick for a young upside quarterback. I feel they could have gotten more for that. So with this trade, because of the upside of Justin Fields, I'm gonna have to give Pittsburgh an A grade. I think it's a great deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can let Fields, like I said, sit behind Russell Wilson, and if at any time he can take over, and he has a lot of upside, and they barely give up anything. While for the Bears, I'm gonna have to give it a D. The Bears could have gotten way more for Justin Fields, even if they made him like a mid-season trade last year, or at any point. I feel like even if they held on to him, I feel like they could have gotten more for Fields than a sixth-round pick. And the next trade is gonna be the Bears getting Keenan Allen, so another trade involving the Bears. Chargers only get a 2024 fourth round pick, while the Bears get an experienced wide receiver that's coming off a 1,200-yard season. Bears getting a very experienced wide receiver for their rookie quarterback, most likely Caleb Williams. I don't hate this trade for the Chargers. I know a lot of people are grilling the Chargers for only getting a fourth round pick, but Keenan Allen is 31 years old. He had a huge contract. So the fact the Chargers really got anything and letting the Chargers absorb most of that contract, I think is good for the Chargers and the Bears getting a very veteran wide receiver who looks like he hasn't lost a step. So for the Chargers, because they were able to move on from Keenan Allen's contract, I'm gonna give it a C grade. Not the worst, but I feel like others, they could have gotten more for Keenan Allen, but I don't hate them for trading him. And the Bears get a minus. Great move for the Bears, getting an experienced wide receiver that's definitely gonna help Caleb Williams. Keenan Allen's been in the league a long time. He knows how to get open, so I give them an A minus. The next trade is gonna be the Cleveland Browns getting Jerry Jeudy. I included his contract details because I believe that if Jerry Jeudy only gets traded to the Browns if he gets in a contract extension. The Denver Broncos get a fifth round pick and a sixth round pick in this year's draft. And similar to the Chargers, I do not hate this for the Broncos. Jerry Jeudy has been hyped up, but he has not lived up to the hype. And I think he needed a change of scenery. The Broncos, in a rebuilding year, had like barely any cap space. Needed to trade Jerry Jeudy to get cap space, and they got a fifth and sixth round pick, which is not a lot, but not is not. But I feel like they could have gotten less since Jerry Jeudy really hasn't been that productive. While the Browns, I would have had them at a higher grade, but if just for Jerry Jeudy's a young, possibly breakout wide receiver, but he's young. He's going to bring some explosiveness. But that 3-year, 58 million contract, I think, is way too much for the Jerry Jeudy. Broncos, like I said, they're in a rebuilding year, so they would have probably let Jerry Jeudy walk anyway next year. So if they got anything for Jerry Jeudy, so that's why I'm gonna give them a B minus. And the Browns, they got a very good wide receiver too, but I do not like that contract, so I'm gonna also give them a B minus. It probably would have been like a B plus or an A minus if they had not given him that contract extension. Okay, and then next trade is gonna be the Joe Mixon trade. Houston Texans getting Joe Mixon, while the Cincinnati Bengals get a 2024 seventh round pick. Cincinnati Bengals were gonna cut Joe Mixon anyways because they signed Zach Moss, so they got Joe Mixon for anything is good. While the Texans, they're getting a very the experienced running back that has like consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, can be very good on the receiving end of the game, getting a young, not a young, consistent running back that can help their offense. So I like this trade for both sides. Cincinnati getting something, even though they were gonna cut Joe Mixon, so I'm gonna give them a B. Texans giving like the Texans offense a reliable run game. Joe Mixon is still very good, so I'm gonna give them an A. The next trade is gonna be the Brian Burns trade. The Panthers getting a second round pick, a fifth round pick from this year, and a fifth round pick next year, while the Giants get a Brian Burns, a fifth round pick this year. So they swapped fifth round picks this year. And I also included the contract details again. Very pricey contract, but not like outrageous for a very, very good edge guy. Brian Burns is probably one of the better pass rushing defensive ends. And Carolina, similar to some of the other teams, Carolina could have gone so much more for Brian Burns than just a second and a fifth swap out. I feel like edge rushers are becoming more and more valuable in this league. I feel like they could have gotten at least a first round pick, but no. But Giants, very good for them. They're getting a great edge defender for just a second and a fifth, and the contract, like I said, pricey, but not out of this world pricey. So for the Panthers, I'm gonna have to give them a D plus. Like I said, they could have gotten way more for Brian Burns. While the Giants, I feel like they're getting a steal of a trade, so I'm gonna give them an A minus. So there you have it, grading NFL trades.